kid, Vincent Ellis White, your host and podcast director of M Talk, the Millennial Show. Make sure you follow me on social media at Vincent Ellis White. Turn it to my co-host, Kiara. Talk to him.
Hello, everybody. It's Kiara Washington, aka Melanated Queen. Remember to follow me as a YouTube personality on I Am Melanated Queen, Instagram at Melanated Queen Speaks, and Facebook at facebook.com/Melanated Queen Speaks.
Indeed. Look, as you've seen, our hosts have told you how you can follow them, but make sure you follow M Lifestyle, the greatest brand on the internet where we represent the young, the bold, and the influential. So on Facebook, follow M Lifestyle. On Instagram, follow M Lifestyle at mlifestyle.org. Follow this dynamic podcast at M Talk Podcast on Instagram. And you can follow me, the most controversial co-host on the planet, Hoyt Timmons at @1Timmons_scholar.
So listen, today we're talking about this here, the title of this episode. What episode is this? 16?
Episode 15.
Episode 15. It's Pepsi, our new savior. That's right. We got a Pepsi here. We might not drink it though, because we might be boycotting you. I don't know. I'm going to talk to my co-host. So look, y'all seen the Pepsi commercial. What's her name, Kendall?
Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner. She never thought this was going to happen to her. She thought she just got a check cut to her. She was going to go have a nice regular old commercial, and that'd be it. But y'all saw the commercial?
Yeah. We did.
Okay,
we did.
Kendall Jenner handed a Pepsi, white Kendall Jenner handed a Pepsi to a white police officer that was kind of barricading or blocking the protest that was happening. And once he hit that you know how you feel good when you open a can of Pepsi? He hit that and everything was A-OK. No more protests, everything was over.
Yes, indeed.
And the world went into an uproar. How'd you feel, Kiara, when you saw the commercial?
I mean, well, I saw an original rally where I forget the girl's name, but it was basically showing how she was like reenacting an actual scene where a protester was actually getting ready to get into it with the cops. They were getting ready to collide. And that was supposed to be that exact scene, with that happening. And it's just like, I felt like whether a lot of white people know it or not, I feel like what they do is, it's a mockery to people who are actually in the trenches and in warfare. So it's like, a Pepsi is not going to solve the issues. Like, that's just raking it over the coals and saying it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of an issue. Like, you have people fighting in the streets for what's really going on and what's the injustices we're facing as melanated people. So to say if I give you a Pepsi is going to change that dynamic, that's not true.
So let me ask you this question. That all make perfect sense. Hoyt, you heard what she said and you hear what some people been coming to their defense. I mean, don't we already know that a Pepsi is not going to fix everything? Why is that offensive, or was it offensive when you saw it?
Yeah, it's offensive for a lot of reasons. Like, one of the reasons that it's offensive is because it makes light of the magnitude of the situation.
Makes light. Yeah.
And also, what I haven't heard anybody speak on is that it alludes to something that I think kind of contributes to so-called white guilt, if you will. And what I mean by that is that if you look at a lot of slave movies, it's always like a white character that has to come in and abet the black protagonist and be the savior. So it's like you have to have a white person that comes and helps these black people solve their issues. So I heard some of the critiques in the comments where people said, well, why didn't they have an African-American person or a black person that handed the cop the Pepsi? And to me, I felt like that was kind of indicative of this long-running theme where if it's an issue of us or injustice, we don't have the fortitude to do it on our own. And I think it kind of alluded to that. Did I find it offensive personally?
Be honest, brother.
I would say not really, because we have bigger issues that we need to be focused on. But I will say maybe I was offended in the sense of they could have chosen a much more astute way to market their product instead of trying to find a plight and an injustice and tie themselves into it to make money.
What about your thoughts if it wasn't Kendall Jenner and if it wasn't a white person and they had somebody brown, they had somebody jet black, they had somebody just that represented us? What would be your thought?
Yeah, they should have just cut me the check. I would have handed the cop the Pepsi. No, I'm joking. No, but honestly, I probably had the same opinion because it's just like, why? Like, I don't get it. What's the point? To me, I feel like I'm going to assume that the executives of Pepsi are very smart people. I'm going to assume that. I would think that at their meetings, they could have thought of a far better way to market their brand. That's just my opinion.
Okay. I think Pepsi issued an apology once the uproar came out. But it's always after the fact. You know,
that's what I'm sick of. I'm just sick of people like doing certain things and then it's like, oh, we so sorry. Just stop doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, we already know it's been done so many times. Y'all do so much stuff and then y'all want to apologize for it later. Like, just really take self-inventory on the situation at hand. You know, like people not just making stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel people need to be more proactive in this day and age than reactive. And my last thing I'll say on it before we move to the next thing is, I woke up this morning to images of, I don't know if y'all saw it, but a policeman stopped, a white policeman stopped a black person that was jaywalking. You saw it, right? It was jaywalking, and the only thing I saw, not being biased, the only thing I saw that the black man shouldn't have did was he said, put your weapon down and fight me like a man. He did say that. I definitely put that on the air, but still, he ain't had no weapon. He ain't have nothing, and this officer was fighting him like he was a boxer, like he was hitting him with the two pieces and all that, took him to the ground. He's out on paid administrative leave, which has always bothered me, by the way. Why I gotta be paid? But anyway, paid administrative leave.
They don't make no money anyway.
And you know, we're gonna see what happened with that. But to wake up to that, and then we had a Pepsi commercial situation, like Hoyt said, making light of it. It's a problem. This video came out maybe a few weeks ago, but it's still something to talk about. Hoyt, talk to us about Kendrick Lamar video.
Oh,
Be
yes.
humble.
So, Kendrick Lamar made a video, and the video is called Humble. And the controversy is that a lot of people like the video. People think it's a very good video. And people, you know, I think on a surface level, people feel that he's representing the beauty of African American women in a very dignified and a sophisticated light. But as of recently, a lot of feminists have came forward and have actually been very castigating of Kendrick Lamar.
Castigating.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
On deck all day. But anyway, so a lot of feminists have been very castigating. I want to quote one of the lyrics for the camera.
Okay.
One of the lyrics is this: is that I'm so effing, explicative. I'm so effing sick and tired of Photoshop. Show me something natural like Afro and Richard Pryor. Show me something natural like a butt with some stretch marks. The problem is that feminists said that what he's doing is like kind of subliminal misogyny. Is that he's trying to redefine how natural beauty should be justified. So they said, like, some of the critiques is that by him saying that women with stretch marks are attractive, he's alienating another demographic of women. And that what this is, and this is look on Twitter. Look, this is on Twitter, on Twitter and everything. What they're saying is that him making those comments about what he perceives as natural beauty is still misogynistic, is still patriarchal, and is still feeding into a man being the one that can validate a woman's image of beauty. I think it's nitpicking. I think that some people, whatever happens, like Dr. Boyce Watkins says, some people are going to find a problem in every solution.
Right.
So I don't understand. I mean, he's praising a woman without having to have makeup. A woman that doesn't need women not having to go around with makeup teams and makeup artists. He's praising a woman in her natural form. And isn't that what we should do? Why should young girls look to supermodels and rappers to be their template for beauty?
You never know what's going to go viral and what don't, but I think Kendrick Lamar was just speaking what was on his heart.
Yeah.
He may have been tired of seeing what we see all the time on the TV and everything. When in actuality, when you walking around Richmond or London or wherever you at, you ain't really seeing girls looking all perfect and everything all curvy. So some people have scars, people have stretch marks, people out of shape and in shape. That's real humans. And so Kendrick Lamar praising them, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a big deal, but it became a big. Everything is a problem to somebody. The men just want to see more natural females out there. If natural is stretch marks, cool. Is you still gonna hit it, fellas? You still gonna hit it? Okay,
This is the problem though. no. This mouthpiece on. Yeah, you still gonna hit.
Oh, they still gonna
Yeah,
hit
you
it.
still gonna hit it. You still gonna hit it. So what? Let it go.
Kiara, give me a high five and hit it. High five and hit it.
Hey,
All right, go
hold
ahead,
up.
Kiara.
Oh, he left me hanging over in the car.
Give me the high five on the hit.
Look,
My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Okay.
This all I want to
Still gonna hit
say.
it? All right.
This all I want to say, but I'm gonna be quick. This all I want to say. Big ups to Kendrick Lamar for making such a dynamic and much needed return back to the music industry.
Yeah.
I feel like anything he's done, period, has been like monumental, and
Yeah, for sure.
he's shifted the paradigm in music, period. So if we waited for something to drop from Kendrick, like, we happy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he spoke on behalf of people who understand who they are, and they're woke, and they're not worried about superficial beauty. So I think that was great. You know, it's like, as a black woman, we want to see women that look like us. You know what I'm saying? Not every woman has an hourglass figure. Not every woman has this long, you know, hair going down to their butt. It's just not realistic. My issue with feminists, especially black feminists, especially when you do your research on them, is they piss me off because this is my thing. Y'all get upset. First of all, we can't please y'all. The only role model that y'all feel like y'all have is Fannie Lou Hamer. You blow me with that, because that's not the only relevant woman that's done something. And they piss me off because the reality of it is you're upset about something that's happening with white women and their men back in the day, but you ain't had no issue with your man because your man won't living with you.
Come on,
so
Kiara.
what's your problem? Like, what is your problem? And that's the thing. Y'all can stand up for when Trump is being a misogynist and a sexist, and y'all can rally and don't touch my pussy and all this and all that. But it's like, now when stuff really starts happening, now people keep getting killed in the streets. All this stuff starts happening again. The DC girls go missing. Feminists quiet. I don't hear shit from y'all. Y'all not saying nothing. You're not rallying. You're not on the news. You're not tearing up shit. Now you want to say something now about Kendrick Lamar video. See, that's the thing. Yeah. All you want to do is stir the pot. You want to keep stuff going, and you're counterproductive of the progress of Black Americans. You're counterproductive.
That's what you meant.
And it's when it's convenient.
Yeah. And just real quick point is that you touched on a whole lot, and furthermore, the feminist movement, it kind of runs congruently with the civil rights movement.
Yes.
And what you do is that you take black women that are part of the black family and you get them to focus their interest on feminine issues. I believe, like what Garvey said, if black women focus on black issues, the black family will heal itself. And also I want to say this, women, if you kind of heavy, stretch marks, natural hair, whatever, black women. I'm saying we all love you.
We'll redact that statement.
We love you, straight up. We do. We love you, straight up.
I mean, listen, you make me move on to the next thing here, because you're talking about how the black women's supposed to be, you know, standing firm and standing up everything. Now, Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson. Go ahead and get a cookie, my brother.
Get a cookie.
We live, but it don't matter. No, we good. Janet Jackson. While you eat that cookie, my brother, think about Janet Jackson.
Now.
But listen, more power to you. Now, you pulled a little sneak move, Janet, when Charlamagne the God said you an OG thought. And what happened? He did. And so, for those that don't know, Janet Jackson married this guy, billionaire. Arab guy, billionaire. And the prenuptial or the clause that was in there was that if she stays married to him for 5 years, so he already ain't trust her anyway. He didn't think she could make 5 years.
Yeah.
But Janet made 5 years, damn it, and listen what she did. The clause said if you make 5 years, you get $500 million. Janet messed around, had a baby by him.
Yep.
Okay, I still don't know how you pulled it off, Janet, but we're gonna move on. You had a baby by him, so she still gonna get child support and all that other good stuff, spousal support. But Janet, little slick self, little 52-year-old slick self, stayed married to this man for 5 years and 2 months. And then she filed for divorce. So according to the clause, Janet Jackson will get $500 million. Plus she had a baby by him, so you know she gonna smack him with that child support. What's your thought? Is Janet an OG thought?
Maybe. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be done with it. I felt like this. I think that I had heard on some type of news outlet I was listening to that she's worth like 162 million or 164 million, something like that. She worth a lot of money, even though she ain't even working right now. She still got a lot of money. So my thing was just this, and I'm be done with it. I'm like, what more do you need? Like,
500 million.
But I'm saying, like, what? You already straight. That's just gluttony and greediness. Like, what else do you need? Like, what else do you need? You straight.
Maybe she wants the newest brand of Jan, and who are you to deprive her of that?
I'm not gonna deprive nigga.
I think Janet's despicable, and I hope Janet Jackson sees this.
Yeah.
And you'll never be as good as your brother. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Shots fired.
All right, let me get to the point. So with Janet Jackson, I feel it sends the wrong message out there to young women. It sends the wrong message to young women because love, if you will, quote unquote, should be between two people who have a true understanding amongst each other and who are truly trying to build a solid family unit. When you have a prenuptial agreement, and in the prenuptial agreement, it's like, well, 5 years, if you stay this long, you have $500 million. Two, both parties are wrong. Why do you feel you have to buy this woman's love and buy this woman's attention? Because essentially, if you're putting this big like pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, what are you saying? On the male side. And in the female side, Janet's side, it's like, okay, you know you don't love this man, obviously. You don't really have a plan on building the future with him, but you're just with him for $500 million. I hear so many women say, I want to meet that guy that's got this and got that, so I don't have to struggle or what have you. And I understand that from a family point of view. But at the same time, I feel that because of the family structure in the black community and how many people look up to Janet Jackson, a lot of young women look up to her, that's not a good message to send. It's just to latch on to a dude for the bread that you could get at the end of the rainbow. Yeah. And then on top of that, he was very stupid in doing that. You set yourself up. Yeah. Any woman's going to stay with him for 5 years if they know they're going to get $500 million at the end of it. Any woman, he could go to Family Dollar and find a cashier and she'll stay with him for 5 years.
If any woman would do it,
okay,
why be mad at her?
I think a few things, and once again, generalization, but I would say, let me rephrase that, let me recant. Most women would do it. Not America is an extremely patriarchal, extremely sexist society. A society where we automatically view women as being a subordinate. And I think that message of you have to latch onto a man to accumulate that type of wealth is just not the way to go. And I'm glad that a lot of women are speaking out about it.
Okay, well we're gonna move on from it. Again, how long should we allow people to work on their racism? And that's a direct quote from Kiara. Kiara and I had a conversation offline. I'm gonna let her share her story.
Oh my God. That was almost kind of your question though, kind of. Anyway, no, but we did have a conversation the other night, and I just was basically explaining. I know I was explaining to you the other day when I was at my job and I was leaving out of one of the restaurants. I was holding the door for the older couple or whatever. It was this older couple, white couple. They probably was like in their late 60s. I was holding the door for them, and as they came out the door, like they didn't say thank you, and I was like, "You're welcome." You know, because I just felt like, you know, you're being rude. Like, I know that you say thank you when someone holds the door for you. And so then they were just like, the lady was like, oh my God, I totally forgot. I totally slipped my mind. I'm just like, no, it didn't, but it's fine. And it just made me realize that and that's what I said. I was like, no, you didn't, but it's fine. And I think it just made me realize, like,
you said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the reality of it is for me, it's not that I'm going to say something in my head and be like, and be giving people to look like, yeah, whatever. And then as soon as they leave,
Go ahead.
I'm fighting these allergies. I ain't got time for that Pepsi. Anyway, after they leave, then I go and I say whatever I want to say to the person next to me. Like, no, you know, I don't have to be rude, but I mean, you was rude to me. Like, you were rude to me, you know. And my thing is, no, you didn't forget. You did not forget. You didn't want to say it. That is instinct. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I pinch you, you say ouch. You know what I'm saying? If I fall, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? If the sun's in my eye, block my eyes. This is not hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard. So for me, it was just you didn't want to say thank you.
So you felt it was racist?
Hell yeah, it was racist. I know where I was. I was in Charlottesville. I know what time it was. I mean, at the end, I was in Trump country. You know what I'm saying? I know where I was, and it's just like, and me as a black American, I'm getting to a point where I'm just tired of having to censor myself down to other people because their racism, whether it's blatant or whether it's in their subconscious or whether they're milder with it. I feel like I have to kind of tiptoe around them about how they feel about me being black and beautiful. Like, why is that a problem? Like, you're worried about me being proud. Just because I have black pride doesn't mean I diminish your white culture. I can be happily black and you can be happily white, and we can just do our own things.
Come on, Kiara.
They're not supposed to mix. They're not supposed to be the same. Appreciate yours, I appreciate mine. I can appreciate yours, you can appreciate mine. It doesn't have to overshadow the other one. That's your own complex that you're dealing with. It's not mine. You know what I'm saying? And that's the issue that I face with a lot of different white people. They feel like they don't have to, you know, be decent to other black people because they don't like the way you look. I mean, I've been in food service for a long time. I know how they act. You know, like you could bring I bring stuff to people and they almost act like, did your hands touch that? I don't want it because your hands touched it. And it's not even the words that they say. It's the look. It's the vibrations that they give you.
It's like you're beneath them?
Yeah, it's almost like, I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to talk to you. Send me someone that looks like me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem, because nowhere that you go are you going to be able to just totally deal with people who look like you. They're going to be all different types of people, and you just have to learn how to deal with them. That's why I say it's counterproductive for me to spend my time disliking white people. That's counterproductive. I don't have time to dislike you. That's the case. I'd be mad every damn day.
So when we say how long should we allow them to work on their racism, is that going along with the fact of you speaking up? Like, man, like they working on their racism by us knowing it's clearly racist.
Well, this is the problem. I feel like when you have an instance where someone has been blatantly racist to you, or whether they've been subconsciously racist to you, or whether it's more milder, I feel like you use your platform to speak up on it, because I feel like what happens is when you don't, that's how it keeps happening over and over again. And I don't have to be disrespectful to you to say, hey, you know, like I remember I had a table. I remember this when I was working at B-Dubs last year. And I went to the table, I greeted myself, and I said, hey, my name is Kiara. I'll be taking care of you today. How are you guys doing today? You know what I'm saying? I try to speak to people, get a conversation going, and they literally did not acknowledge me. What they wanted me to do was they wanted me to say, hey, what do you guys want? And they wanted me to start writing. They didn't feel like I had the platform to even say, hey, how you doing? To inquire about their day. And I said, you know what? We're going to try this again. Hello, how are you doing today? Didn't say anything. I said, okay, so now that I had to come down to that level, and I literally had to get like down and say, hey, I don't know if you heard me, but this is my third time. My name is Kiara. I'll be taking care of you. How are you all doing today? Oh. Two white businessmen, you know you heard me the first time.
Damn it, man,
You're
clapping.
just
Boy,
doing,
clapping.
Yeah.
Clapping.
Once I start talking about my hands, it's over. Once I talk about my hands, it's over. But it's just like, I know you heard me. Like, you're making it more difficult. Like, if you just be the fake, just give me that fake ass smile y'all give everybody.
You know how they say black people, we hype, you know, we aggressive. And so you said you was kind of, you know, hype right there. Like, when you said, excuse me, okay, like, do you feel like that scared them?
Hell yeah, because they naturally scared of me. They scared of me because, like, I'm so powerful in my own right. That's why they scared of me.
Melanin God.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And it's a lot. I understand. Like, I am a very, very confident person, and I know that I come off like that. So I know it's not as a disrespect to you, but when you deal with me, you already gonna have to know who you are, because my personality, it might tip you a little bit if you are unsure who you are. That's me as a person.
I like tip too.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, understand who you are as an individual. Don't allow my blackness to make you feel inferior. That's the issue. Like, I should be proud. Me being proud is not gonna, you know, diminish your light. And that's the issue with sometimes with dealing with white people and racism. They feel like it's gonna take away from them. And that's when they go to, oh, you know, y'all need to get over it. You know what? I'm trying, but you just keep bringing shit up. I'm really trying.
Bam.
I'm trying. I'm really trying.
I think we should never get over it, because if you're asking me to get over it, then the money, the property, the cities, the billions of dollars of wealth that this country was allowed to accumulate, you have to get over that as well. True. So I'm part of that, because the situations that benefited from that injustice still exist today. We still live within that particular system.
Okay.
And so it's hard to get out. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, great point, definitely agree with it. I'm asking you, and I'm saying this because that's been said, how do we truly move forward? Because some of us want to move forward and some still hold on. That's just a real situation. But how do we move forward if we say they didn't acknowledge this, they haven't given us X, Y, Z? How do we really move forward? That's like to bring in more latest terms of context. You know, get over, you in a relationship, but somebody saying they want to be friends, but you still mad at what they did when you were in a different status relationship. How do you really be a friend and give your all in that friendship, but you still holding on to this thing that they did? Could have been 6 months ago, but what if it was like 10 years ago? And we know we go way back with racism, but what if it was just a long time ago and you still holding on, you still that bothered by how that situation ended.
The way to move forward is that you have to acknowledge the problem exists.
Okay.
That's how we start the steps of moving forward. And we have discussions about the fact that racism and the effects of it, the ramifications, and I know this is kind of a trite issue, but the ramifications of slavery, they echo so much in our modern society, from the way that we treat each other to the way that we look at beauty, from the way that we view white people. I think one of the biggest problems that stops everybody from coming together is that one of the, and I don't believe in racism. I don't believe that any particular group is subordinate to the other. But the problem is that my friend Melvin puts this as, we live in a culture of white standardization. And what he told me, and I agree with him, and this is my own point of view as well, is that we could come together, but the problem with our society is that Anglo-Saxon culture is seen as the standard, and anything outside of that is the abnormality. This is why it took such a long time for natural hair to catch on. This is why it takes such a long time for so-called Black English or Ebonics to be accepted, is because it's outside of the standard that was accepted for us. So a lot of times, if you notice, when you see a movie or you see something with Black people or different groups coming together, notice how everyone dresses. Notice how everyone speaks. It's like the solidarity is good as long as it falls under the Anglo-Saxon umbrella. So if it kind of diverges outside of that, then it's kind of an enigma, it's kind of an abnormality. So my thing is that we have to be, as a culture, as society, we have to be accepting of everybody's culture. We can change, we can grow, we can evolve, so-called, but we don't have to forget, because if we forget, then those same variables can arise and it can happen again. Like I said, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. So the line that we have to walk is to remember that those things happen, and to make the whole planet know that those things happen, and to make sure we can move forward and be progressive as a people.
Okay.
I agree.
Sounds good. Okay, so our last topic, y'all. Last topic we're gonna discuss. I'm gonna let Hoyt go on it, man. Especially while he fired up over here. Like that.
The spirits got me.
Man. Especially you talking about not forgetting what things that people said and did. Trump, we still have not forgot. You out here grabbing people. You out here being real racist, and now you're dropping bombs. Now you starting wars. So first of all, we ain't forgot what you did. Now you still doing stuff. Hoyt.
According to the news, Bashar al-Assad, president of Syria, he dumped sarin gas on the citizens, according to the news. And because of this, we were so enraged that we felt we need to destroy their military base. I think they fired like 59 missiles at the military base that supposedly produced that chemical agent. One, it's illegal what Donald Trump did, because they didn't make any act against us. Syria did not do anything that jeopardized the safety of American citizens. So one, that was illegal. Two is that Donald Trump, when he came into office, when he was running on his campaign, and basic questions about foreign policy, he wasn't competent to answer those questions.
Right.
And so you have a man like this who doesn't have a good grasp on foreign policy, and he's the commander-in-chief. Furthermore, today, and you guys can do your own research, but today, and let me know that I'm going to state today's date. Today's April 13th, 2017. Donald Trump dropped a bomb in Afghanistan today. So, like, if you see this podcast later on, you can go back and do your research.
Yeah.
So, my question is, one, is this going through Congress? Two, what is the justification? People said that he was bombing like a site or a headquarters for ISIS or something like that. But with Donald Trump, he's such a habitual liar. I really don't know what his motives are.
Is he hitting anything?
I don't know. I mean, it's Donald Trump. This guy,
what you hitting, bro?
This guy changes like the weather. You just don't know. I honestly think, and look, what I'm about to say is
what
Hoyt.
is he hitting?
Look, what I'm about to say is Hoyt Timmons' own views. This has nothing to do with M Lifestyle or M Talk. But in my personal opinion,
here we go.
In my personal opinion, Donald Trump is a bona fide psychopath.
Okay.
He's a bona fide narcissist.
Okay.
And he's a bona fide misogynist.
Okay.
This man's cabinet is all white males. It is no diversity in his cabinet. He has elected billionaires, and the people in Arkansas, the people in North Dakota, the white people, the masses of people who voted for him, who thought that he was going to come in a better situation and to lift you up out of poverty.
Come on,
all of those people that voted for this man. You voted for a billionaire who's only going to perpetuate the interests of Wall Street, of arms manufacturers, and of the military-industrial complex. So good job. What you did was you perpetuated the plutocracy that we're trying to get rid of.
Bro, I know you hype.
You know what I'm saying?
Please, Hoyt, hold it. Come on, Kiara.
Give us a definition.
Give me people.
Give us a definition.
Dude, if you want Hoyt to tell you what plutocracy is, because I ain't never heard that. Maybe I'm from Southside, or from a different area. I don't know. Plutocracy. And then I want you to continue, but plutocracy.
Okay. Plutocracy is just where you have a government.
Jesus Christ.
Where you have a government that's controlled by the extremely wealthy. That's just the kind of basic level understanding.
Okay, Hoyt, I'm sorry. Forgive me, my brother.
Oh, you good, brother.
I need that though. Because I don't know how to spell it, so I don't know how to go ahead.
You good. Well, look, the thing is just that Washington is business as usual. You still have the lobbyists that come. Okay. Remember before he got elected, he said, when I get to D.C., I'm going to drain the swamp.
Yeah.
What swamp has been drained? It's still business as usual.
Yeah.
You still are just a puppet of Wall Street.
You draining us by having us pay for your security at Trump Tower.
Well, let me say this.
Quick question. I want to ask y'all this. I haven't seen this, but maybe y'all have. Has he been taking a vacation like every weekend?
Yeah, he's taking
more.
There you go. Go ahead.
That's what you were saying. Thank you. That's what I was getting ready to say. So, I watched today on lovely Facebook. They had like a panel with Don. I love Facebook, man, because they get everything, man. That's your news. So they had a CNN panel, and I do like Don Lemon for the most part because he have like a good, diverse, Anyway, it was Angela Rye, Bakari Sellers, whatever the little girl is that be with Trump, and then other dude Bob Spears or somebody. So it was all of them. And they basically was talking about since Trump has been in office 81 days, I believe, 81 days now, whatever. They said he has spent over $21 million in Mar-a-Lago going back and forth golfing. And they kept showing like different video snippets of him talking about how much Obama went and how much Obama was playing golf. And they was like, first of all, you've already spent more money in the 8 years that Obama was in office going golfing than he ever did. You spent that in 81 days. You done spent more than that in 81 days. So he's talking about, oh no, I won't be down here playing golf. Obama's probably playing golf. Like they show all these different snippets of him talking about him playing golf. But dude, you've been playing golf almost every other weekend. They say every time he go, it's like, they say he's went 17 times. That's what they say. And they say it's anywhere from like a couple hundred, they said like what, 500,000 to like $3 million every time he go, depending on what he's, doing, whatever. So up to $3.3 million he's spending every time he go play golf. Good. And my thing is this, I did a video on this. Remember to follow me on I Am Melanated Queen at YouTube. I did a video on this, and I was talking about how these racist white people chose racism over policy because it came out over a month ago that almost 17 federally funded programs had been taken away from government. So you lost PBS, you lost all these different domestic women programs, all these different things you lost for everybody that was low income people or just people in general. You lost all these different programs because you chose to be racist over what was really right. So now everybody's losing. Yeah. You're still broke. You still don't have money. You're still a cashier at the regular Wawa or Walmart. Like you're not winning. So to me, it's just like, I think now a lot of them are really starting to see it. Even the white people who have money are starting to see it because a lot of y'all ain't getting no free insurance. Y'all insurance through the roof. And you so mad about Obamacare, and that was, to be honest, Obamacare, it sucks in a lot of ways, but the reality of it is people had no insurance. None. To getting some type of insurance and actually making it affordable for most people. So you trying to debunk something that helped a vast majority of America.
Come on, Kiara.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's just like, I understand now that people would choose to be racist over what's right. Like, you're poor, I'm poor, you're white, yeah, you have your quote unquote white privilege and I have black skin, but you're still broke. A lot of y'all make less money than me. So it's just like, I just laugh at it now because it's like you really just chose to be racist over all things. And it hasn't gotten you anywhere.
I think that ties.
Can you high five me, please?
Yes.
I think that ties into the point where, you know, the article I wrote on Trump, I pointed to.
What's the name of it, my brother? What's the name of it?
Why Millennials Are Key and Halting Trumpism. You can go and check that out on mlifestyle.org.
Yeah.
But it ties into a point, like, real quick, if you look into 1676 with Bacon's Rebellion.
Just go back 1676, okay.
What happened here in Virginia, just kind of keep it brief, it's a lot of variables, but basically you had an armed rebellion against the governor of Virginia at the time by the name of William Berkeley.
Okay.
And it was against him, and what you had was a kind of like a proletariat group of white farmers, a few Africans that were here, and then you had a few other groups as well, and they kind of came together, and what they were going to do was to overthrow the governor. After that rebellion was put down, one of the things that came about of that is they realized, like, hey, you know, this could be a big issue. So naturally, you have many people of European descent that were brought over here as indentured servants. So how do you fix this problem? Okay, I have to placate these masses of people over here.
Placate.
But then I have to keep these Africans kind of down or what have you. So the best answer to that is kind of create racism. And I've always said this is my saying, is that racism is the cloak over classism.
Cloak.
So if you were to remove African Americans from America in total, if you take all of us away, you would start to see the same problems that they have in Greece, that they have in England, where you see so much white on white suppression, is because black people have been molded into what you should not be in America. And thereby it kind of gives a lot of white people, white Americans who are disenfranchised, who don't own any land, who haven't really reaped the benefits of this country, they can tie themselves in on, at least I'm better than a black person.
Exactly.
So it's like this fictive notion of race. It keeps the masses of European Americans placated. It keeps them quiet. And it protects wealthy white people. Yeah. That's what it does. That's what racism, at the end of the day, racism is designed, not designed like some guy sat in a room and thought of it, but it grew to be a thing where it can keep the masses of Americans silent and agreeable, and it protects, like, you know, your guys is making billions of dollars every year because you believe in racism, which is not real, and you can't scientifically prove that it's real. You believe in it, thereby you do things where you vote against your own interests because you believe in racism. So you come and you believe in racism, but you don't realize that Mitt Romney does not see the guy that works at the car wash just because he's white as the same as him. Yeah. Warren Buffett does not see the white dude or the white woman that works at McDonald's as being the same. Yeah. They're looking at, like, we're rich, this is our class, we're part of the aristocracy, and you guys are out there. So go ahead and vote for me. And they know, just like people say that Democrats peddle to African Americans, the Republican, the GOP, the aristocrats in that party can peddle to disenfranchised white Americans and play on their sensationalism. You know?
Now, let me clap for that. Come on. Okay. And on that, Hoyt.
Yes, sir.
Tell them how they can follow you, my brother.
Oh, you can follow me, Hoyt Timmons. You can follow me on Facebook, Hoyt Timmons. You can follow me on Instagram at @1Timmons_scholar. And you can follow me on Twitter at Mr_Hoyt_Kwaku.
Are you sure?
Yeah, on Twitter.
All right.
I might have to read that joint because I need to get heavy on Twitter, fam.
All right. Kiara, how can they follow you?
You all can follow me on YouTube at I Am Melanated Queen, on IG at Melanated Queen Speaks, and on Facebook at Facebook.com/Melanated Queen Speaks.
All right, you can follow me, the host, on Twitter at Vince Ellis White. Everything else, IG, Facebook is Vincent Ellis White. I thank Hoyt for the jewel at the end of the show.
Yes.
Episode 15. It's
and
Pepsi.
I love Chips Ahoy too.
It's coming.
Get that check.
Episode 15 is Pepsi Our New Savior. Y'all make sure y'all follow M Talk, follow M Lifestyle. Give us some comments and let us know your thoughts on this episode. Bye.